All right, guys. So now that we're back here at Universal Studios, I wanted to really get some ideas about what happened during those episodes. So, Lucinda, you want to start us off with your episodes?
Yeah, sure, Leo. Well, in the first episode, during my first day at Laced Up as the new manager, I ran into a bit of a issue that I found out about the prior manager, which is Clyde. No offense to you, Clyde. But Cynthia and Brooke experienced watching me handle a customer, and after that, they told me how well I dealt with the customer, and I was a little shocked at how they were, telling me how good I did with the customer. So I asked them why they were doing so, and they let me know that Clyde doesn't know how to sell shoes very well. He's just more able to handle the administrative work. So we experienced a bit of integration problem because Clyde's not able to do admin work and help customers with selling of shoes. So that's just something I wanted to bring back to Clyde and let him know that may be one thing that he can work on to help his store and his employees improve, by being able to do both instead of just one. And then also, I ran into an issue with Cynthia, who I didn't know prior to starting the boss swap, but I found out afterwards. Her and I kind of got into a conflict because I asked her to do something and she caught an attitude with me, but she had an attitude out of nowhere, and I was unable to find out why she had an attitude until afterwards when I spoke with Clyde, and he let me know that Cynthia is Indian, and in her culture, she views the left hand as unclean. So one day, I tried to extend my left hand out to help Cynthia with stocking, and she kind of backed away from me, and from that point she had an attitude with me, and I didn't quite put two and two together and understand why, but now after talking to Clyde I see why.
Okay. All right. Well, fair enough. Let's see with Clyde. So, your episodes, what exactly happened there?
Well, so in my first episode, I had a customer call in and looking for a particular part, and obviously there's many different parts in the DIY hardware store, so we can't just go find it ourselves. We have to use the computer system and the technology. So unfortunately, coming from Laced Up, we don't have the POS system that DIY hardware has, so I had to try to learn how to do that, and in a timely manner, I couldn't quite figure it out, so I had to ask help from an employee, Dwayne, and quite honestly, I probably should have learned how to use the system before I started taking calls and working at the store. So that one was probably more on my fault, but Dwayne seemed to handle it pretty okay because he had to take over and do my job, and I had to go back to his job, so that seemed okay. And then in episode 2, we had a little issue with an employee, Michael. He was on the phone with a customer and they didn't agree. They had a little bit of an argument, a confrontation over the phone. And after I heard the conversation, I talked to him about his issues, and he said that he was having issues with his wife at home, and we discussed what he should be doing. I kept him at work and how I moved him to the back so he didn't have to quite deal with the customers in his distraught mood. And I learned that from my emotional intelligence chapter with Dr. Diazio.
Okay, that's very great. So yeah, with our, the camera crew and the boomstick and everything. Sorry about that. I was really, we just started out. We're new at production crew, and the task differentiation that I learned about in school, really came into play there. I know that Raphael, he really doesn't like what he's doing right now, and I should probably switch up the jobs to make our production crew more productive instead of, not being very productive as a production crew. But great job, everyone. That was a pretty successful boss swap. Hopefully you guys all learned something about management, and I'll see you all hopefully later.